It's the PB Podcast Show where we have friends and prompts and more. And every episode we have a guest to get to know. With jokes and laughs and games to play and much hilarity. Let's buckle up and jump right in with our friend, our guest, our friend Jeremy. For those of you who are new to the show, here at Personal Best, each episode we bring a guest and a bunch of questions with numerical answers that pertain to our personal lives. The guest and I will then take turns asking our prompts, giving our answers, and the one with the higher number wins that round. So let's get started and may the personal best win. This episode, we invite a newly born X-Rank, a gestrous free play demon, and the best Pentamino player that I know, Jermy.
Do I talk now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know I was the best Pentamino player that you know.
That's probably not true, but you are very good at it.
Thank you. I honestly don't know what I'm doing whenever I load up one of those runs. I'm just like, yeah, just put the blocks down. Don't make holes.
You're on the leaderboard, I checked.
I'm like, okay, dang.
Yeah, you're top
okay,
200 at least.
I should start telling people about that.
So, do you have questions for me? How many did you make?
Okay, actually, you know what? My first question was, how many questions did you prepare for this episode?
Oh, I see. Are we actually starting now?
That's my first question.
That's your first question? Okay, let me see. I have 7, 8, 9 questions in front of me.
I have 15 questions.
15? Okay, that is more than
dude.
Me.
I was like, man, I really don't want to disappoint because you know I heard all the great questions that were asked like on the last episodes.
Great questions.
Yeah, so I just ended up going for quantity just in case like I felt not confident in one of my questions, then I could just skip it. So I have 15 in total.
I see. And we started with the strong one. How many questions?
Yeah, I know, right? I also had to think of questions that I could win because I want that $1,000, dude.
Ah, you heard what happened on the Mitsuri episode already. We've changed it.
Oh, it's crowdsourced.
It's crowdsourced. Yes, I reinforced this on Dallas episode too.
Okay, so how much is in it right now? How much has been funded?
We will keep that information private until editing David figures it out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But it's looking like it's around 0.
All right, understandable.
Okay, so are we counting that as one of the questions? Or are we going to start here?
Okay, let's start for real now.
Okay, we're starting for real. Let's start for real. One of the things I know about you, there's not many things I know about you, but I do know that you play ukulele.
That is true.
So I wanted to ask, how many instruments do you own?
How many? Oh, do I own?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a little bit strange because okay, let me explain. Right, so I wasn't always a ukulele player. I only started playing ukulele when I was in high school.
I see.
But before that, I played piano. So obviously, at my house, we own a piano.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then I got to high school, and then I got into playing ukulele and stuff. So I bought a ukulele when I was in like 10th grade. Mm-hmm. And then my sister sat on it the next year. She broke it in half. Does it count as owning an instrument if it's no longer with us?
Do you still have it?
No, I threw it out. So
okay.
No.
Okay.
Does it count?
The answer is no. You can't.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. That makes sense, you know, but it's just that there have been many instruments that have come and gone.
Oh, I see. Because they have a short lifespan with you.
It's not my fault, you know.
That's what they all say.
I was not the one who sat on it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. We won't count that one. Okay, I have a tenor ukulele, the one that usually appears in stream. Mm-hmm. I have a travel soprano ukulele. I also have oh, dude, it's hard to keep track because I lend these out and I sell them as well.
Oh, you sell?
I think I have. Yeah, like I had a ukulele and like I bought a couple because I started a ukulele club at university. Mm-hmm. And obviously for people to come and play, they need instruments. So I bought 3 extra ukuleles.
I see.
Let me just give you the short answer, right? Mm-hmm. I think I have 3 ukuleles at home right now.
3? Okay.
And I have a piano. Mm-hmm. I have 2 guitars in my house.
Oh.
Yeah. And does kazoo count as an instrument?
It's like a voice modifier.
All right, then we won't count that. So what is that? A piano, 3 ukuleles, 2 guitars. That's 6.
Oh, I think you beat me. Let me count real quick. I have an electric, an acoustic, and a bass. That's 3 guitars.
Nice.
I have a keyboard. That's 4, and then I have a trumpet.
You have a trumpet.
I have a trumpet.
Do you play it?
I tried learning it, but it's just not something you can really practice because it's so loud.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I live in an
agree,
apartment, and then just like I can't
Oh,
like
dude.
justify playing this. It'll just like wake up everyone around me.
Yeah, that's rough, dude. You gotta like book a practice room at your
Mm-hmm.
school or something.
Yeah.
Do they even have that available for the general student population?
For non-music students, I have no idea. I've never even tried. It's just under my bed.
When was the last time you played it?
Like 6 months ago.
Oh,
Sometimes I'll like walk into my car and try to like just close the doors and soundproof the area.
you must look crazy when you do that.
Yeah, there's just a kid playing trumpet cramped in his car.
I didn't say this, but I learned how to play trumpet as well when I was in high school and elementary school, and I played it in high school.
Because you were in band, right?
I was in band, and I played trumpet because my brother played trumpet, and wanted to just follow in his footsteps, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to high school, actually, I stopped playing trumpet and I started playing tuba for a year. So I know how to play tuba.
Big lips, yeah.
Oh yeah, I got big lips. Yep. So wait, how many did you say you had? You had like 3 different guitars.
Mm-hmm.
You had a trumpet.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say 2 keyboards?
1 keyboard.
1 keyboard. That's 5.
That's
okay,
5.
So yes,
Yeah,
let's go.
You take this one.
Who knew that hoarding ukuleles
was a help.
Yeah, I know, right? I used to have more. I used to actually have more.
Back when you were the president.
Yeah, back when I was the president, I guess, of the ukulele club. I actually did have a question about music instruments, because like I think I remember you said like you play guitar, so I was gonna ask how many instruments do you know how to play, but it sounds pretty similar to the previous prompt, right? Because normally the instruments you own, you know how to play.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how many do you know how to play, but I changed it to own because I don't consider my proficient in any of these instruments. I like feel like I can barely play any of them. All of my instruments are basically so for production purposes. So like I can make a song on them, but I won't be able to perform on them.
Oh, so you like splice it all together, get all the good bits, and then make a song?
Or I'll play the same riff. Like I'll play like a 2-bar riff for an hour and get one good take.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pretty difficult sometimes, it probably isn't that difficult, but I'm not very good.
Well, you know what? Everyone's at different levels. But you make music. I didn't know. I didn't know you made music.
I do make music. That is correct. I will not plug it, but we could. It's just my name. So if you look it up on like Apple Music or Spotify, you'll just find it there.
All right. So listeners, you know where to go. You know what you must do. So this one is, how many celebrities have you met in real life?
Oh, dang. My little brother told me to ask you that.
Oh, but you didn't want to ask it, or is it?
I didn't want to ask it because my answer is 0.
Oh, okay. Mine is 1.
Oh. So I was like, I can't ask this because I lose instantaneous. I
know, right? I was like, I have to think of questions that are interesting, but that I'll win.
Dang. Yeah, I don't think I've ever met anyone famous. Or like, what does it count as meeting someone?
Like you talk to them.
Yeah, my answer is definitely 0 then.
Yeah, and like IRL, because like does like suboptimal count as famous? The winner of the guac tournament.
Winner of guac, the organizer of guac.
Yeah, dude, the world record holder for super auto pens. Yeah. No, I mean like, so somebody like you meet them IRL in person. They're famous for like maybe music or doing art or something.
I think it depends on how big you consider famous then. Like how small do you... So you'll okay, so who's your person? And then I'll see if I can beat it.
My person... Okay, do you know There was this like meme song that was really popular a few years ago called Flamingo. Do you know that song?
Whoa!
Do you know it?
That's my favorite band.
Cara Bonito? Yo, okay,
That's
let's
my favorite
go. Okay. I had no idea that you listened to KKB. I went to see them and I met them.
Okay, well, this is so sad because honestly, they came to my town twice. I bought tickets like a year in advance. Got canceled both times. Both shows got canceled.
Wait, why did it get canceled?
First time, Sarah got sick.
Damn.
Sarah got sick, couldn't perform. So Gus and Jamie, they did like a separate show where they just like EDM'd for like, they just DJ'd for a set. And I went to it, but I'm not into EDM. So I'm just like sitting there. I'm just like, this is awful. Not awful, but it's like, I'm not enjoying myself. So I left early. I bought a shirt and left early. And it was like, man, I hope that they come back.
And now it's quarantined and they never come back.
Yeah, so they scheduled another one. It was scheduled for right after quarantine happened.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, so it was canceled a second time.
I'm so sorry for you, dude.
It was actually pretty funny because the first time it was canceled, it was hard for me to not cry. No. I talked to my roommate because he knew how excited I was for it because they're my favorite band. I was like, dude, I'm so excited. And then I walked into his room 2 hours before the show. It was a pretty late cancellation.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, yo, they canceled it. And he's like, I was like, dang. And he's like, dude, are you crying? I was like, no, I'm not crying. No, I'm not crying.
No.
But yeah, it was pretty sad. But dang, you saw them live.
I went twice, actually.
Oh my gosh, you took my 2 chances. You stole them from me.
I was going to see them 3 times, but the first time they came to Toronto, they were performing in a venue that was like 19 and up, and I was 18 at the time. I see. So I couldn't go. The first time I went, okay, you know what? The reason why I asked this question is because I actually have I have a story that I tell about the time I went to go, the time Sarah threw my marker in a bush. So, you know what? I'll send you a picture of my signed shirt so that you can put it up on the video. Basically, the first time I went, the show was great. You know, I got a shirt and everything, and I really wanted to stick around because I wanted to get my shirt signed. Right? Or just like talk to them. Yeah. But they were cleaning up too late and I had to go home. I don't live like in downtown Toronto and that's where they were. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Next year. So I went the next year and this is going to be a long story, by the way. That's fine. There was so many, like that night, it was great. But then all these other things happened that night and it was just like, it made me feel like really bad at the time. But now I look back on it and it's funny. So basically, my friend and I, we went to the show, right? We got our tickets like, we did like, they had like some pre-sale. So we were supposed to pick up our tickets at the box office. The show starts at like 7, which means that actually starts at like 8. I don't know why they do that. Yeah. We got there at 3, right? So we're just like standing around. There's no chairs or anything because we're just like sitting on the concrete or like leaning on the rails. And then, so whatever, you know, we're still hype. And then kind of like the last minute, my friend brought a date like at the last minute. And I was just like, you know, that's okay, right? I want to be supportive. But at the same time, I'm like, I was a little bit like, now I'm like the third wheel all of a sudden. And I'm like, I don't get to hang out with my friend. But I let it slide because it's a friend. So then we do the concert. Concert's like, great. I also broke my leg like very recently before that. And I was still kind of healing. So I was like, my leg was starting to really hurt. But I'm like, dude, I got to push on. For KKB, you got to do it. So then this time I was just like, I really want to stay behind and meet them no matter what. And I'm just like, I don't have school tomorrow. I have no obligations. So I can stay out here as long as I like. And then I don't even have to go home because I can just go back to school and their library is open for 24 hours. So I can just chill there and then go home the next day. So then they finish the show. My friend, she's sick and she leaves with her date. And so I'm just there with like a bunch of people that I don't really know. Right. And, you know, I'm not going to be like, oh, you know, these are like bad people or whatever, but they're just kind of the crowd I don't hang around with. I remember they were like vaping. I don't vape. And they're like, yo, we got mango, we got cucumber. You want to combine together and have some man cum? And I'm like,
that's a good joke.
No, thank you.
That's a good joke, to be fair. You gotta hand it to them.
I'm just like, I'm good, man. So here I'm trying to make small talk with a bunch of people that I typically wouldn't hang around with. There's some dude just showed up and he was drunk and he was talking with us and he left. And then everyone's just like, yo, who was that? And I'm like, I thought he knew you guys. But anyways, we're out here in the cold for like an hour. This is like mid-October or late October.
In Canada.
So it's not, Yeah, so it's like it's not like freezing, it's not like snowing, but it's kind of chilly. So after an hour, Sarah comes out, right? And I'm like, yes, very cool. So I go to talk to her. I'm like, oh, last year I came and I tried to get my shirt signed, but then you guys, like, I couldn't stay, so you want to sign my shirt? And then she's like, oh yeah, sure. So she signed it, and I'm like, great. And I wanted a picture, but there's a line of other people who wanted to talk to her, right? So I'm like, I'll just wait. So she takes my marker, right? And she's like signing everybody's else's stuff and taking pictures. And I literally help other people take their pictures. And I'm like, I'm going to be slick. I'm going to be like, yo, can I get my marker back? And also, can I get a picture? So I wait till she's like signing like the last album, taking the last picture. And I'm like going to talk to her. And she just turns around and books it back to the van. I'm like, wait a second. I need that picture, right? So I went after, I went after her. I like followed her back and I'm like, hey, you still have my marker. And by this point, she's like halfway in the van. So she turns around, she throws the Sharpie back to me. But it's like she's throwing it backwards and she's like, it's in the dark. It lands in the bush. So I pick it up and then I'm like, can I get a picture? And at this point, I kind of already know what the answer is going to be. And then Jamie's like, sorry, mate, we got driving to do. We got to go to like Quebec.
Sorry,
mate. Like, I swear that I think he actually said that. Like, and then I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to be pushy, right? And so I'm like, all right, next year then, right? And they're like, yeah, next year. And then next year was quarantine, so it never happened. So that's my story. Oh, no, the story's not done. So I'm like, oh, crap, I didn't get a picture, right? And then my new friend that I made there was just like, oh, dude, man, I wish I pushed you, like made more of a fuss to get you that picture. And then I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'll just come back next year. So at this point, it's like past midnight. I don't think the buses run back to where my home is. So I'm like, okay, I'll just start walking to the library, right? It's like 2 kilometers. I've been standing since like 3 p.m. and it's like 12 a.m. And then I'm like walking back. I get to the library and guess what? It's Canadian Thanksgiving. The only day in the year where it would not be open for 24 hours. So I'm there. It's like it's not 1 a.m. It's like really late. Maybe it's 1 a.m. I don't know.
Maybe later.
And I'm like, I'm locked out in downtown Toronto. And I'm so tired. So then at the last second, I had to like call a friend and be like, dude, are you still awake and on campus? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I need somewhere to stay tonight. So he comes out and then he like picks me up and he has to like ditch his girlfriend for a bit to bring me back to his place.
What a homie though.
And then, yeah, I know, that was really nice of him, and basically let me sleep in his bed because I guess he was staying with his girlfriend. And then I think by the time we got to his place and I went to sleep, it was like 2 a.m. But then I had to go home by 9 a.m. to join my family for Thanksgiving dim sum, okay? So I only got to sleep for like 2 hours, and then I had to like wake up and like take the bus and the subway, everything back home. And I was just like, shoot, dude. I didn't get that picture. But now I look back and I'm like, this is a pretty entertaining story.
Mates for a good podcast anecdote.
Okay, yeah. So let me like, if you ever get the chance to go, it's a lot of fun. Like,
I'll get a picture for you. I'll ask her to sign it to Jeremy.
No. Like, here's the thing, right? If I ever see them again, I'm going to be like, remember that last time you were in Toronto and there was some guy whose marker you threw in the bush? Well, that was me. I'm waiting to use that story one day.
We'll see.
I don't want to make it seem bad. I'm just like, haha, that was pretty funny, right? Right?
We'll see if you can play it off like you did, like you did last time.
Yeah,
play it real smooth.
For sure. Yeah, shouldn't have been smooth. Should have just asked for the picture.
Yeah, gotta be upfront. Gotta be pushy sometimes.
Well, yep, that's my story about how I met a celebrity and they threw my marker in the bush.
I don't have anyone nearly as famous as Sarah Benito, and Sarah Benito is probably not even that famous.
She's not even that famous,
in the grand scheme of things. How many camps or retreats have you been to?
Camps and retreats. So you're talking about like youth retreats and stuff?
Yeah, like that type.
What about like camping like in a tent?
No, not those types.
Not those types. Okay. Oh, this is tough because I haven't been to one in a while, but I did go to a fair number of them when I was younger. And I also, does it count if you were leading the camp? Because for many summers I would lead like summer camp for like kids at my church.
I guess we'll count it, but then that means I'll have to count the ones that I led too.
Okay. So I distinctly remember going to like 3 like family camps or summer retreats because we went to the same place every time, which is why I remember them. And then I think I led summer camp for 4 years. So I guess in total that's 7, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. What were the summer camps you led like?
Oh, it's like VBS and stuff.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we have VBS here.
Yeah. So basically, I started when I was like finishing high school, and then guess I kept doing it every year afterwards because I did such a great job, and they just wanted me back. So
That's
we
how they
would
get
do
you, dude.
I know. I finally have shaken it off by letting other people step up and take on the role. But yeah, so like we would hire like different people to come help us out. We have this thing called like Scripture Union where they come and they teach the kids how to play sports, but also teach kids about Jesus and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then another week we would just hire like these like pretty much like teenagers to come in and put on some skits and stuff. And yeah, if there was time left in the day, then I came up with other things for the kids to do. It was so hectic every year, and every year they were like, oh yeah, it was great and stuff, and I just never felt like I knew what I was doing because like nobody taught me what to do. I just kind of figured it out on the fly. And I just learned to end up rolling with the punches because nothing ever goes to plan. And I'm sure you definitely know what that's like.
Maybe. I just planned for a lot, so hopefully it falls in one of my plans. That's the
contingency plan master.
I might have you be here then, because if I count like the 3-day like retreats, and also VBS retreats, then I've like done VBS every summer since I was like 5.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then we also have like
okay.
a 3-day church retreat every year as well. So I've had like 7 of those.
Crap, dude. Okay.
And then I also volunteer at like the ones since I entered undergraduate too. I just volunteered at those.
Dang, I'm destroyed. Clearly, I don't do enough.
I think I'm at like 20 something. Yeah, but I'm not like the main leader when I volunteer at those.
Oh, well, I mean, you're leading somebody.
I am
right?
leading somebody. Yeah.
That counts for something. Do you like? I mean, I was gonna ask if you like doing them, but clearly you like doing them if you keep doing it, right?
Who knows if I like doing them? But they need people, and then I volunteer. I think that's all we can say.
I see. Okay, this is an unrelated question. Well, kind of related, but it's like, what's your favorite age group to work with?
Probably high school students.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And why?
They do more things, I think is the main point. So they feel more like people that you can talk to about things.
Okay, yeah. Comprehension is better.
Like the lower down you go, the more just like I feel like this person doesn't do anything.
Dude, you better not let them hear about this podcast.
They won't.
David really thought I was like worthless.
Just didn't do anything.
Couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, but sometimes you ask them what their hobbies are, and they just like, I don't know, I go to school. And it's like, that's not a hobby.
Oh yeah, no, okay, I understand what you mean. So right now I like, I guess I lead the middle school age group, so like grade like 6, 7, 8, and every now I'm like, so I haven't seen you guys in a while. What happened? And they're like, I don't know. Like, I went to school. Like, literally what you just said. Like, they just don't want to say anything. And now that you say that, I kind of agree. The high schoolers, at least, are more independent.
They're doing things. They're also more troll, which is
that's why I was like, you like high schoolers? Like, dude, so they're just kind of like annoying sometimes.
Yeah, they really do test your patience, but I have a lot of it, so it should be fine.
Oh yeah, of course, Mr. Since undergrad, do BBS every year.
I'm Mr. Slow.
You're a chill guy, like your students think, right?
They think I'm cool, yeah.
Yep. One time I started this tradition of let's all stay up all night from the last night. And they still do it, and I'm like, what have I done? and yeah, like honestly, I felt like crap because I would be like, oh yeah, all nighters, let's go. And then by 9 a.m. they're like, all right, let's time to stand up and worship. And I'd be like, I can't keep my eyes open.
Yeah, so this is like for VBS kind of thing.
This is like, no, these were like the retreats that I went to, like participated in.
Oh, so like the 2 or 3. I see.
Yeah, no, I'm not forcing little kids to stay up.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, are you making like 4th graders stay up?
I get in a lot of trouble. My question is, how many different schools have you attended?
Oh, okay. Let's see. I went to a preschool. That's one. I went to some school for kindergarten, 1st and 2nd. Then I transferred to a different elementary school, so that's 3. Then the same middle school, a high school, and then an undergraduate. So I have 6.
6. And why did you change schools? Like transferring and stuff?
Oh, it was because they had a better like program, I think. It was like a magnet program. I don't know if they have those out there.
What do you mean by magnet program?
I have no idea. It's like there's this weird feeder program in like our like city where like you go to this school, then you're more likely to get into this middle school and then to get into this high school. So if you want to be part of that, you have to like transfer into that.
Are there applications for like getting into so and so school?
I think so. Yes, there are. Yeah, for magnet schools.
What? Okay, because where I'm from, I think typically they're just like, you live close to this school, you go into that school.
Yeah.
Unless you were in like a specific program.
Yeah, if like you're at an art school or something.
Yeah, something like that, like art school or like special science program.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had a few of those.
Yeah.
Did you have like a school that you liked the most? I guess it's kind of hard to compare like elementary and high school and university.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I'd say the best year of my life was in not high school, definitely not high school, was in undergrad, but it's hard to say that I liked the school the most.
Okay, so the school had no bearing on how good your life was that year.
Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe just like my graduate program right now is like the best schooling experience I've had.
Okay, what's really interesting is that actually before I had this question on my list. I took it off because I thought it was a little bit too out there, which was, what was the worst year of your life? Or what was the best year of your life? But I'm like, maybe that's a little bit like too open-ended. So I just like took it off. And then you came and said like, man, the best year of my life, undergrad. I was just like, dang it, should have asked.
But then I would have won, right? Because my number would have been 2019.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I didn't really think about which one was mine. And do you win by having your best year of your life more recent, right?
Because it's a bigger number.
That is true. Okay, you're right. Okay, cool. So you said 5 or 6?
6.
Okay, 6. Okay, let me count up mine. So I went to the preschool near my house, then I moved, and then there was like another kindergarten that I got to go to. That's 2. Then they built another school more closer to my house. I went there for 2 years. And then they built another school like 2 blocks from my house. I went there for a year. And then that was when I entered 4th grade. And I don't know if they have I don't know if they have this in the States. Do you know what the gifted program is?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you know how it works, right?
Yeah, you sit in a room and they give you riddles.
Yeah, pretty much. So I tested for that. So I went to a different school for that. So how many schools is that? 1, 2.
What the frick?
3, 4,
You're beating me 5, in elementary school.
Yeah, no, but okay. By 4th grade, I went to 5 different schools.
Oh my gosh!
And I went to the same school until high school, and that was high school was like the 6th school,
and then
undergrad at University of Toronto, and now I'm going to college. That's 8. Ooh, okay.
You do beat me.
Because I was like, I'm like, how often do people change schools? I'm like, I feel like not that often, but I don't know, like, because maybe you moved a lot, or like you said you switched schools to get a better chance to go to like a certain high school. So I wasn't sure. So yeah, 8 schools. And I guess to answer my own question, what was my favorite school to go to? It's probably the school I went to from 4th to 8th grade, because that's when I made the friends that I still have around today. So, for example, Dimple Cheeks, we went to the same school. We were actually in the same class a few times, but we were in a split class because we just didn't have enough kids for like two fifth grade classes, so they just had to split us with like fourth and fifth graders and stuff. So we're actually a year apart. Do you guys have split grades?
No, I've never heard of that.
Now I thought it was pretty cool at the time. Now I think about it, I'm like, dude, my education was probably pretty hampered because like the teacher had to like teach two different classes pretty much. So if they don't have enough kids to make up two classes, then they take half of them and they combine them with a year above or below them in a split class.
That does seem like it would hamper your education.
What do you think about that as an educator yourself?
I think that's a very good way to make sure that some kids aren't learning at the pace that they should be. But
would you ever teach an undergrad like year 1 and year 2 class at the same time?
Like Calc 1 and Calc 2. We would never do that. Well, I understand. There's just like administrative responsibilities that you have to do. And elementary school is basically just daycare still. So
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's my question. How many schools did you go to?
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one because I won.
It's a bad one then. It's a bad one.
Yeah.
What's the latest you've ever stayed up? So what's the most amount of hours you've stayed up for?
I think, probably on one of those retreats where I stayed up the whole night. I remember thinking about it and calculating it so I could brag about it. I think the longest time I've ever gone is 36 hours, which is probably not that great. I know that there's some wild people out there that have stayed up for like 3 days or something, but 36 is the most that I've ever done.
Okay. I think mine should be somewhat I'll count right now. We woke up at 8 a.m., then left the next day at 12, and then I took a nap at 3.
That's 31, isn't it?
Oh, it's 31? I'm not very good at math. I'm not very good at arithmetic.
What were you doing that made you stay up for that long?
It was also a retreat, but probably less good for me because I was leading. I was leading.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I was with like some of the kids from my youth group, and you want to make it a memorable experience for them.
Oh, so that's why you stayed up together with them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Even though I had responsibilities that they didn't.
Yeah? Like, oh yeah, don't worry, I'll drive you guys back.
Yeah. I could not drive anyone back. I almost fell asleep on the road. It was terrifying.
No. Did you drink coffee to keep yourself awake?
That would have been a good idea, but I did not. I just almost crashed. That was my plan.
Okay, dude, this is like so much serious. It's like, yeah, man, I pulled an all-nighter, and then it's just like I nearly died. I nearly flipped my car.
Nah, but like you can like feel your eyes closing as you drive, and you're like, this is not a good sign. I should pull over. When I was a kid, me and my brothers used to stay up too, without our parents knowing, because like they wouldn't let us play games very often, right? So the only time we could was if we like stayed up together and played games into the night.
Did they ever like catch you? Like,
I don't think so. They didn't know we were doing it regularly for sure, but maybe they may have caught us once.
And what were you guys playing?
Mobile games. We would be playing mobile games and also like card games.
Yeah. Card games like Yu-Gi-Oh? You guys
like
dueling
Yu-Gi-Oh.
it out?
Yeah, exactly. Like Yu-Gi-Oh. Maybe like my older brother invented a card game.
Oh,
yeah. So he drew all the pictures and stuff, and it was like a cross between Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic.
So he just created his own overpowered cards then.
It was pretty balanced because they were all overpowered, but like all the decks were pretty balanced.
Balanced through imbalance.
Balanced through imbalance, exactly. Because if he just wrecks us every time, that's not very fun.
That's smart.
So he tried to make it as balanced as possible, give us like each different play styles and stuff we could do. But we'd stay up like late until night playing like Doodle Jump, Tilt to Live, like these like classic mobile games. Mm-hmm.
That sounds great, dude. I was gonna ask like how many siblings do you have, because I remember you mentioned you had a brother, but I mean, I have a sister, and I think I mentioned earlier I had a brother, so I think we're probably tied there. So I'm not gonna ask that question. If I'm not winning, I'm not gonna ask. You know what I did with like my siblings when we shared a room? we played this game called
Mhm.
Toy
What?
Toss. We had
Toy
like
toss.
stuffed animals on our bed. And Toy
Mhm.
Toss, what do you think we did in Toy Toss? Well, we threw toys at each other. But it wasn't
Good.
it's like dodgeball, but we couldn't see. So I would just chuck them
Oh,
where I could hear her voice, and the game would end if I hit her in the face and she started crying.
she started crying.
Yeah, because we were not old. We were like maybe like
I
6 and 8
see.
years old or something like that. So
Mhm.
like, you know, kids get a cry, but I would just like bean her right in the face, and then she'd cry. I'm like, all right, game's done. I'm going to sleep.
Well, anything for the victory, right?
Yeah, exactly. We didn't have like Doodle Jump Man or Tilt to Live or that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Angry Birds.
Angry Birds. We did play Angry Birds into the night too.
I actually got my first phone when I started undergrad.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty late.
I know, and that's when I got my laptop as well. So before that, no phone, no computer. So I know, right? And well, nowadays, like it's pretty normal to have it, and I do have those things. And my parents are like, yeah, whatever, it's fine, it's chill.
Mhm.
But up until then, it was like it's pretty tough to like get in contact with people.
Mhm. Yeah, you're in a little bubble. It's not like I was like hanging out with people in high school anyway.
Wait, why not? You didn't hang out? Why not?
Maybe it's just because I didn't put in the effort.
So you would just go straight home after school?
I was in some clubs, but generally, yeah.
I had to go home and practice piano.
Oh,
I mean, I
see.
did band, but apart from that, I would just come home and practice piano. In Canada, we have something called the Royal Conservatory of Music, which sets pretty much the curriculum for music education or extracurricular music education. And we have levels 1 to 10. And I think if you finish level 10, it's like counted as like a high school credit because you've put enough work and stuff for it to be like recognized. And then there's 2 levels above that I know about. One is called the ARCT, which I do not know what it stands for. And the other one I didn't find out until I was graduating from ARCT, which is called the LRCT, which is like, I don't know, super extra. So I finished level 10 piano when I was in grade 8 because, every Asian kid got to learn piano, right? Then I'm like, I'm done. But then what happened was that my teacher, my theory teacher, because we also have to take like these theory classes to, understand the structure and history of music. I was getting really good scores in those theory classes. So then he said like, you should try to go for like this like award. 2 of his previous students, or maybe even 3 of his previous students won this award in Canada, which is like you get the highest average that year in all of your theory classes. So he said, you should come back and do your ARCT and do all the courses. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I went back and I finished that. Then I went for the award and I got it. So that's what happened to me in high school. And I just come home and play piano.
I see. Yeah, I did not have the same experience just because I quit piano very early.
Your parents let you?
Yes. Because what happened is my older brother is actually like a prodigy.
At piano?
Yeah. So
Ooh.
they saw very early on that I was not as capable. So they're like, maybe this is just like a failing prospect. So they just let me off of it.
My turn for the question. Okay, so this one, you might have to open your dashboard on Twitch. The question is, how many hours have you been live on Twitch?
Oh, yeah, you're going to beat me here then.
Well, that's the thing. I don't actually know because I found you through Substream.
Yes, you found me through Suboptimal.
Like so I have no idea how long you've been streaming for, or how old your account is even. So for all I know, maybe you've been like hammering out these 24-hour streams like for 2 years or something, and I don't know because there's no VOD of them.
That's true. Unlikely since I don't have enough followers. If I had like 1,000 followers, you should be scared.
That is true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I found it. 141.6.
I have 279.53.
Oh, you do beat me. I actually have way more than I was expecting.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, how often do you stream, dude?
Never.
Okay.
I never stream.
And how old do you count? Like, how did you get into streaming in the first place?
I started streaming when I got Puyo Puyo Tetris, so like around 2 years ago. I might have gone live before that, just like making music and stuff.
Okay. Why did you? What inspired you to start streaming it, like instead of just playing the game?
I have no idea why I started streaming it. And in fact, I shouldn't have been. And I realized that very quickly is that my computer cannot handle both streaming and playing the game at the same time. So then I stopped. I stopped streaming for a while.
Okay. But now you have a better computer?
No, now I just play Gestress and games that I can run.
Dude. You know how shameful it is to tell people you're like, I can't play Tetrio on high settings because my computer will lag.
I can't play Tetrio. I can't play Tetrio on minimal settings and stream at the same time.
Yeah, no. Well, that was me for a while, and also I had this crazy lag before.
Mm-hmm.
My computer is like a bucket of crap. Like it's just built out of like a bunch of spare parts that my brother had lying around. And I think he upgraded like one thing, and I'm like, now I can stream on minimal. Before that, it was so bad. It was just unplayable. So you got started for Puyo Puyo, and nobody told you to do it.
Yeah, I've been on Twitch for a while, so just because I got into like watching Hearthstone streams.
Oh, and Hearthstone's an OG game, isn't it? That's
yeah,
old.
it's an old Twitch game, yeah.
So how old is your account? I want to know.
How do you check that?
Can't like if you click on your own username or something, doesn't it tell you like?
Oh, you're right. I'll enter a random person's stream, type a message, and then click on my name.
Yeah.
Liberty.
Oh, oh man, I want to. Okay, I actually started streaming partially because I watched Birdie stream, and I was just like, man, I could be streaming JS Triss, and like making friends and stuff. So she's actually part of the reason why I started.
Yeah, that didn't work. I still have no idea.
Oh, okay. How old do you think your account is then? Just estimating, because I'm pretty sure yours is older. So you said you watched Hearthstone.
Yeah, I think it's probably
so that's
older
gotta be
too.
Many years.
Junior year of high school.
Junior year of high school. So that's like 11th grade.
Yeah, like 2016, something around there.
Okay. Well, now I can deduce how old you are.
You can.
I think you're young. You're a year younger than me.
I believe I am a year younger than you.
I graduated high school in 2016.
Math, yeah.
Math, dude. It's everywhere. Yeah, okay, my account, I saw it recently. It was made in March 2019.
Oh,
so
so
I
like
am a
way
Twitch
after.
baby, dude. I am
see.
a baby on this platform. I never really was interested in live streams because I'm like, I would rather just watch an edited YouTube video or something. I just want to see the gameplay. I don't really care that much about the streamer talking, like reading out a bunch of gift subs or whatever. But then it was like I said, like I was watching these small Tetris streamers, and I'm like, yeah, I actually kind of like being in these rooms and talking to these people about Tetris, which have a crippling addiction to. But and then that's kind of what was like, I think I could do that. I could try that. So now that's the origin story.
The origin story.
The lore.
The
dude.
lore of Jermy.
That was my question.
Yeah.
How many hours have you been live? Dude, I've been like winning almost all of them.
Okay, fine. Since we're playing this way,
okay.
We'll see if we can have one
All
that
right.
all win. You might have to open Twitch for this one. What's the most channel points you have in one channel?
Oh no. Okay, you definitely beat me. Okay. I know whose channel that I have the most in, but there's two channels actually. It's not gonna be a lot.
Who is it for you?
I think it's in Kaifie's channel. Kaifie 00, or I don't know how to say is it 00? I have 29.8 thousand points.
I see. Who was the other person you were thinking of?
I was thinking Dimple Cheeks, since I'm her mod and her friend, so I have to support. But I spend a lot of points in her stream.
I see.
And so it like kind of it hovers around like 19,000 points. All right, hit me with it. What is the big? How rich are you in Twitch money's points?
I'll tell you what my second one was. It used to be Clint Stevens, right? Because I'm a big Clint Stevens fan. But he has a redeem that's 50K, and I spent it all there. And then I've been gambling, so I have like 0 in Clint Stevens. But The one that
Okay.
I'm number one in is
Oh,
yeah,
can I
sure.
guess? Oh, you were about to say your friend, right?
Kind of. I mean, I don't know them personally,
Oh,
so
okay.
you might know.
Oh, okay. My guess was gonna be like Wumbo or something
It's not
because
Wumbo.
people just chill in
Hmm.
his streams. Okay.
It's Sai and Veo. I don't think you've ever heard of them before, but like Kirby and I used to
I have
frequent his streams.
Cyan Veil,
Like the colors,
like the
Cyan and
color.
then VEO. He used to play PPT Switch. He doesn't play like a lot of Tetris anymore. He plays TEC sometimes. But I would just sit in his chat and make jokes all the time. I still do whenever he streams. He doesn't stream as much anymore. But I have
I see.
145,000 channel points.
Dude, how many hours you have to watch to get
A
that much?
lot.
That's so many.
Yeah, but I just like sit in his stream while I'm doing homework.
Yeah, that's the best way to get it.
And then I'll like make jokes when I think of them. So, yeah.
Are they good jokes or are they just like puns?
No, they're David jokes. But sometimes he'll laugh, and that's all you need.
What's a David joke? What?
Oh, you know the stupid David type joke.
I can't think of one off the top of my head. The last one I remember was that one time you were asking Mitzboy like, "How many times have you been inside your mom?"
That's a
And I was just like, "What?"
that's a pretty standard David joke. That's pretty
All
similar
right.
to like what a David joke would be.
Okay.
But yeah, I have like 145,000 in there.
Well, I think it's kind of funny that you would make that kind of joke as, a man of the cloth,
A man of the
But,
cloth.
I like those jokes. I think those jokes are pretty, okay. I really hope nobody ever hears this, right? So at my church, I'm a deacon.
Oh, you're a deacon. Interesting.
I'm a deacon. I don't know how it happened to me. Like, I just fell upwards into the position. I'll be honest. It's because I just did so much of the summer camps that they just promoted me to deacon. They're like, yeah, you already pretty much do it, right? And then the other day, I was just like, thought of the greatest joke ever. Like, oh, you want to be deacon? Put this deacon in your...
Oh my gosh, how come no one has ever done that before? What in the world?
But I'm like, dude, I cannot say that because they will like fire me or whatever.
They'll remove your
terminate me. Yeah, dude. So
You're a young deacon, dude.
I think it's just because like I work closely with some of the pastors, and then they're like, we need a deacon, and I guess Jeremy fits the role. Like he's already doing a lot of the work, so just give him the title. And honestly, I don't really know what I'm doing. I really hope they never see this podcast because they're gonna be like, this is what Jeremy really thinks about it. These are the kind of jokes that Jeremy's telling. Yeah. So you tell that to your friends. Hey, you want to be deacon?
My father was a deacon? Not right now, I think.
Oh yeah? You should tell him that joke too.
Yeah, I will. I think the recipe for like accruing a massive amount of channel points, you have to sit in the stream a lot, and they also have to have bad channel point rewards. So you don't spend them. And never do bets.
Okay, yeah. No, every time I bet, I always bet everything. I just lose. I always lose.
I had like so much in subs, and then I just bet it all for some reason. Like just randomly.
You redistribute the wealth. Now I gotta think about which one of these questions I want
are you trying to get a guaranteed win?
from.
You can guarantee a win if you just go right now. Or are you gonna save it till the end? At the end, you're gonna turn it up on me.
Nah. Okay, let's just go with like an easy one. How many friends do you have on Facebook?
Ooh, it's probably lower than yours, I think, because you're a cool guy.
Oh, I don't really use Facebook. Like, honestly, this is like really like I know.
Yeah, this is gambling. This is gambling for sure. This is bets. This is bets in subs channel. I have 612 friends.
I have 402.
Ooh, that's actually way more than I was expecting as well.
You didn't realize you had 600 friends?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. I'm actually surprised that I have 400 friends on Facebook as well. And well, do you use Facebook often?
I don't post. I don't really scroll either, but I do use Messenger every once in a while.
What you only use it once in a while? What do you use instead? Is it Discord?
Yeah, Discord. All the grad students at my school, they all use Discord, so that's how we communicate there.
Okay.
And then also with like internet friends, it's always on Discord.
Yeah, pretty much. I've also found myself migrating to Discord, but there's still some people that I talk to on Messenger, or I
Mm-hmm.
guess Facebook Messenger was what I was using for a long, long time. Oh man, just looking through my old Facebook stuff, so cringe, man.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Here's something that's relevant. You know how like people get canceled over like something that they posted like 10 years ago, or like oh they said something
Yes.
racist and or like they did blackface.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not being racist or doing something offensive, right? But I had a similar experience, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So as you know, I'm studying to be a paramedic, right?
Yes.
So many years ago, I posted something. I said, I love seeing ambulances go by with like the lights on and stuff because it means
Mm-hmm.
somebody is dying somewhere. And I'm
Mm.
like, oh my goodness, man, this cannot stay here. And the thing is, I never expected that I'd ever be in this position because, like, I guess
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really think too hard about it. Um, and I decided to change into this career when I was like third year of university, and I realized I was not going to go to med school.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, like 9 years before, I'm like, I wasn't thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to be edgy back then.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
one of my
edgy
friends
mode.
was like, Jared, like not everything is about like people dying, right? And obviously I know that
Mm-hmm.
now, but I'm like, oh shoot, dude, I gotta take that down. So I actually deleted that post. I
Mm.
had to scroll back so far to find it. And yeah, I had a scare. I'm like, dude, if I didn't think about that and like, what if I like lost my job because of like some stupid thing I said way back
Mm.
when. So again, future employers, don't catch me on this podcast. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people that should not be watching this, but
I
whatever.
think to be fair, yeah, it's edgy, but it's also it's less harmful than you'd think, I think.
It's not like, I wasn't being hateful or
Yeah.
offensive.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it in poor taste? Probably, but a lot of
yeah,
things are
yeah,
in poor
yeah.
taste.
So I was just like, nope, getting rid of that one. Never, I always like thought to myself, I'm like, yeah, I barely post anything, like never gonna catch anything on me. And then bam, right there. Just like, oh shoot, why did I say that? And I had to go get rid of it.
I never post anything, only the worst things.
I don't even think anybody besides me remembered that I ever posted that.
Mm-hmm.
But it haunts me, so yeah.
It haunts you,
It haunts me, yeah.
just like the people in the ambulances.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I'm
You're not
gonna
allowed
be
to
like,
laugh. You're not allowed to laugh.
you're right, straight face.
Straight
I
face.
can't laugh.
Okay.
Whew.
Am I right in saying that you did IB?
That is correct.
So this, I hope you remember anything at all about when you did IB.
Are you gonna ask me for what my score out of like 45 was?
That was gonna be the question, but I decided to change it. How many points did your EE give you?
The EE is out of 3, right?
You can get a max of 3 from both your extended essay and your TOK essay combined. I think it's 2 from your EE and 1 from your IB TOK essay.
Okay, I don't think my EE was very good,
Mm-hmm.
so I think I probably got like 1 point for it. I'm gonna say that I was proud of it. I really liked the topic that I picked. You know how they give you like a year to write it?
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it in like 1 weekend.
Mm-hmm. I think you have a very similar story to almost everyone I know.
I knew. Okay, there was one person I knew. She's just like a month before. She's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm
Oh
like,
my
what?
gosh.
Impossible.
Yeah, no one does that.
Yeah, she was really passionate. Like she did hers on like English
I
literature,
see.
and she was like super passionate about that. Like I think she does a lot of like freelance writing now.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Do you remember the letter grade you got on it?
Is it? I think I got like a B.
Oh my gosh. Wait, you demolished me. Dude, I was not expecting this at all.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me about your EE. What did you
I
get?
got a D.
Oh shoot!
Almost every person I know got a D on it. And you get 0 points from
Oh
that.
damn. Okay. Well, what was your topic?
I did a history EE.
Not even math.
No, not math.
That's
I probably
amazing.
should have. It would have been better if I did math.
Okay.
But history was easier. And I did it about the Great Leap Forward, Mao's economic revolution.
Okay. And what was your thesis?
Um, it was probably like the Great Leap Forward was bad. That's probably exactly what it was.
Oh,
But I
okay,
definitely
okay.
got a 0 on that.
Okay, well, you know what? You
I did
passed,
pass.
and that's all
I
that
think what
matters.
happens is because me and my little brother checked yesterday in preparation. We checked his, and he did something similar where he just took his history fair from 7th grade and basically just turned it in as his extended essay.
No way. And he's not gonna get his mark back until like.
No, he graduated a while ago too, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, he got a D as well. And we checked his score. He got an 8 as a numerical score. And
Out of
I'm not sure what it's out of,
what?
but if you get a 7, that's a failing grade.
Wait, no, no, no. Okay, I remember. No, isn't like the IB like the independent assignments out of like 24 or something like that, or 22?
Oh, that sounds about right.
Oh,
Yeah, I's are out of 24. I'm almost guaranteed I got the exact same thing as my little brother, like 1 point off failing.
that's
Almost
pretty funny.
guaranteed. It's just that like they don't like failing students, so they just give them the minimal possible grade. They're like, okay, we'll just give you an 8, just whatever.
It looks bad on them to
Yeah, to
fail
fail a bunch of
students.
students. But man, was probably both of our essays were garbage. What was yours on? How did you do so well? What the?
I did a music essay.
Oh.
So what happened? So my topic, right? I was like,
Hmm.
man, I really don't want to write this 2,000 to 4,000 word
Hmm.
essay. So let me just pick something that I want to write about. So I took music, and I picked video games and
Oh,
music.
that's actually so good.
So it's like, so of course, as a Legend of Zelda fan, I'm like, I want to do it about the Legend of Zelda. Yeah, so my thesis was like the overworld
Hmm.
themes are like written to harmonically and rhythmically convey a sense of adventure or something like
Mm.
that. Yeah, and guess what the title of my essay was called?
The Legend of Music. I have no idea.
It was called The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Music and Gameplay.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. A link between
I know, right?
worlds. I see. Hmm.
Dude, I did like barely anything for research. I think I bought like this book of piano transcriptions for
Hmm.
some of the music so I could have like, some sources and stuff.
Hmm.
But the thing is, like, there's not a lot of academic sources about
Yes.
this or directly about the Legend of Zelda. So I kind of had to like make some stuff up talking about like ostinatos and like drum
Hmm.
lines and marching rhythms. And then I started talking about like, oh, like these are some melodies that are like focus heavily on like the tonic and the dominant or whatever, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Music theory is fake. I'm very convinced of that.
yeah, I know. Like, if you didn't know what I was talking about, you think I'm really
Hmm.
smart, but I didn't really know what I was doing.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think I was like so late with mine that like this sounds bad. My music teacher's he was my
Hmm.
supervisor. His dad died while I was
Oh
writing it,
gosh.
so we took a week off, and I went to the coordinator and I said like, can I have like an extra week
Hmm.
because my supervisor was gone for a week, even though I never spoke to him about
Hmm.
it. And she said, you really shouldn't need this, but
Hmm.
okay. And I'm like, thank you. And I wrote it on that weekend instead. You ever play Ocarina of Time?
I haven't, but I've watched a lot of gameplay of it.
Okay, so you know how like there's like Ocarina songs that you play
Yes.
in the game, right? And there was only 5 buttons that you
Hmm.
had to play all the songs. So it means that there's only 5 notes to make all
Hmm.
the songs. So I read this blog about how like the composer
Yep.
Koji Kondo, he wrote 12 different songs with different kind of styles or different yeah, like different
Hmm.
styles, right? And they're in like different key signatures, but he only used 5
Hmm.
notes. And it's just like, how do you write 12 catchy melodies with 5 notes in different keys? And it was even to the point where there were 2 songs with the same chord progression but in different keys and using the
Hmm.
same notes. And I'm like, well, how do you do that? So I thought that was really cool. This was back when I was in 12th grade,
Yes.
obviously. 2 months ago, or like last month, 8-Bit Music
Hmm.
Theory releases a video talking about the exact same
Yeah.
topic. And I'm like, I was talking about this on stream like last month, and I couldn't really explain it properly, but he's talking about it, and I'm like, wait a second, but I heard about this. Like, did he steal the idea from somebody else, or did he come to the same conclusion? But I don't. There's no way for me to find that blog again because it's like so long ago. Yeah, I was just like, oh, I feel vindicated, even though I literally didn't do any of that research. I just read it.
True. I did watch that 8-bit music theory video.
Oh yeah, so you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. I've watched it.
So I heard about that back in 2016, and I was just like, that's what I heard about that. So yeah, I got a B on my EE.
Dang, you got a B. B is actually the highest score I've ever heard.
Oh really? Oh,
yeah, okay. I don't know anyone who got it. Like even the smartest kids at my school, they all got like D's and C's on the extended essay.
Who knows, man? Well, you know what? I also did get a 7 in English.
Ooh, okay.
That was the only 7 I got.
We're bragging. We're bragging.
Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, statistically I did well, but compared against other people, like I knew multiple people who got like perfect 45s.
Perfect 45s?
Yeah, there was like my school had
Dude, your school has a bunch of nerds. People.
Yeah, well, okay, here's the thing. Like my school had such a reputation for like churning out smart kids because like there was so many kids that are getting like top 6 average with in Ontario. You apply to universities with your top 6 marks. There was a couple of students with 100 average because of IB conversions, and so anyways, I got 1.7 in English, and everything else I got like 6s, which is like good, right? But at the time
that's
like,
very good.
Damn, like these guys all like destroyed me. They got like 7s in like everything. I've obviously I don't really care. That was like back in high school now, but at the time I was just like yeah, comparison of the thief of joy and stuff, Yeah, I'm not bitter about it anymore.
Yeah, I won't brag about any of my high scores, but I will say that I got a 3 on the history HL. I got a 3 on the history HL. No, not because I did like really poorly. It's because I didn't realize that you're supposed to write 2 essays in one of the portions. So I only wrote 1 essay. And I was like, man, everyone's taking a long time for this essay. And then 5 minutes before we were supposed to turn it in, I like looked at the instructions again. It was like, choose 2 of the following prompts. I was like, oh crap. And then I just like blazed out like 2 paragraphs in like 5 minutes. I was like, oh, this is not good.
So unfortunate, dude. I feel so bad for you, dude.
I mean, the thing is also, yeah, who cares, right? Because I graduated, so
that is true.
That's it, right? I graduated. I got enough to graduate.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody's like, oh, PhD. Like, what'd you get in?
What did you get in your history HL?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody cares about that. So now you know. High school lore has been revealed as well.
High school lore. Jeremy was a nerd, and all his friends were even.
I wasn't. Yeah, okay, yeah, you can say that. I was the kid that was walking around the hallways playing ukulele in high school, okay? I was a loser. I was a loser. Okay, this one's gonna be fun. You have raccoons where you live?
Yes.
Okay. How many raccoons do you think you could fight simultaneously?
Simultaneously?
Yes. Okay, let's put this into perspective, right? How much does a raccoon weigh? It weighs from 3.5 to 9 kilograms, which would be like 7 to 20 pounds.
Okay. So we're going to put them at average. So like they're like 13 pounds. Something like that.
Sure, 13 pounds. 14. And let's say you don't have to worry about dying to rabies afterwards, right? How many could you take on realistically?
I think I could take... Ooh, it's so... The temptation is to overestimate, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you could be like, yeah, I could take on 100, and then I just lose because I don't think I can fight 100. I
think I could take... this might be an over 8. I think I could take 8.
Dang, okay, because I was going to say like 3. I'd be like, I'm imagining them like each one grabbing to like a limb. I'd like to have one limb like free. So like...
Yeah, here's the thing is like, it depends on how coordinated they are. Because you're right. If they coordinate their attacks on me, I'm boned, right? Then 5 of them would easily overpower me.
Okay, let's say, do you think you could take on three at once and be okay, like completely fine to take on another three afterwards?
I think so.
Okay, how many
How many like
how many
waves?
rounds
How
of
many
three?
waves of
Yeah,
raccoons?
how many waves of three raccoons do you think you could take on?
I think I could do like 4 or 5.
Damn, dude, I'm okay. I'm afraid. I don't want to mess with raccoons.
Here's the thing, right? It's a fight to the death, right? I don't
Mm,
think I'd die after 4. I'd die after like 5 or 6.
yeah, like from the bites and stuff.
Yeah, from like wounds and stuff.
Raccoon related deaths.
I'm sure there are cases where people lose to singular raccoons. And it's possible I'm one of those people as well, but I don't think I am.
Oh my goodness, there's a whole ass article about this.
Mm-hmm.
Statistic I'm seeing in the United States is that there have been 13, 1,300 injured or sickened by a raccoon, 0 killed.
Oh, I'm vindicated. I could take on 40, dude.
Okay, dude. All right. Dude, your name, Garbage David, takes on like a whole new meaning, dude. You're like, yeah.
No one's getting in my trash can. Yeah.
I'm scrapping with these raccoons. I don't know. Like, I've never been in a fight before. And obviously never been in a fight with an animal as well. Mm-hmm. So like I'm afraid of like I'd just freeze up in the moment. Like what's a strategy even?
Am I allowed to like use my surroundings?
You can have a rock that's the size of your fist.
I'll take that. I think that would actually help tremendously.
What would you do with the rock?
Bash a skull in. Or you could use it as a diversion, right? You can pretend like that rock is a friend. They won't know what hit them.
I was gonna be like, you could throw the rock and like run away. And you're like, no, I'm gonna start talking to this rock. Yeah, you'll mess him up, dude. You go around the side.
The raccoon will have no idea what's happening.
Yeah. Dude, I would just do the 3 and I'd be like, I'm done.
But you think you could take more than 3, right? You don't think you'd die.
I feel like I would just be so turned off from the experience. Well, okay. Not that I'd be turned on by the experience.
I'm not claiming that I'd be excited to fight another wave. That's not the claim that I'm making. I think I'd survive more waves.
Okay. You know, two waves. I think I could do 2 waves. So six raccoons in total, man.
I think I can do 3 or 4. 3 or 4 waves.
Have you ever had to deal with an animal around that size?
No. This is definitely pure speculation. I could be completely wrong, but what you're testing is my confidence.
That is true. You are a man with lots of confidence.
I'm confident in my cold-blooded serial killer vibes.
Yeah, I don't think I could. I chicken out after. All right. Well, that was my last question. I just thought
that was your last question. I get it then.
Oh, you destroyed me then, dude. Again.
I did. I'm just more confidence.
Yeah. No, I like animals and stuff. I just don't want to get too close to them.
They are a little smelly, especially raccoons.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever seen a raccoon like?
Yes, I've seen a raccoon in person before. They're pretty big, actually. Now that I think about it, maybe I should turn back my answer.
Nope, too bad. Next time I see you, I'm bringing 40 raccoons with me. There was one time my parents were barbecuing, and apparently the raccoons just like walked up because it smelled so good. Yeah, it was like in the middle of the day too. So I was just like, "What? What are you guys doing? You crazy?"
Hey, they smell it. Animals smell, but they also smell better than humans.
That is true.
That is a pun.
That's a David joke. Good way to end it off.
Good way to end it. So you won this episode, 6-4. This seems to be a theme. I keep on losing.
You need to ask some better questions, dude.
That's what Meats Boy said too. Yeah. So, congrats. I'll be sending you like a penny later.
Dude, we don't even have pennies in Canada.
A Canadian. Oh, you're right. They discontinued it.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna send it to me, and the envelope's gonna be empty because it just got
they rounded down
in the mail.
I'll send you 5 cents. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so you take this up. Is there anything you want to plug?
If anyone's listening and you're in U rank on Tetrio, keep your eye out for Guac 3.0. So that will be happening maybe soon, sometime soon.
Yeah, check out. There's probably some page for it.
There isn't a page for it. Yeah.